Kshanti.
Hi. So it strikes me there's a certain irony in me being asked to talk about Kshanti Paramita. So Paramita, the virtues that we're trying to develop and transcend, the virtues that we're trying to make more and more as we follow a path of the Bodhisattva. In other words, a path of awakening, but awakening for the sake of all beings. So Kshanti is often translated as patience, and those that know me well will know that this is not a virtue that comes very naturally to me. On the other hand, as well as being an irony, I do have intimate knowledge of what it feels like to not have very much patience, and over the years of practice have quite a sense of what it feels like to develop it. So I want to say a little bit about what it isn't. So patience in this sense, this Buddhist virtue of patience, it's not passivity and it's not resignation. It's not a lying down and giving up in the world or giving up in ourselves, not at all. On the contrary, I like to think of this Kshanti patience as sustainability. I like to think of it as something that actually allows us to continue our path. It allows us to actually keep going. And it comes from a very deep sense of knowing what our true and deep values are and standing our ground in the face of anything that might challenge those values. So we can think in terms of being swayed around by the winds of the world, all the things that come at us in so many different ways. And patience or Kshanti allows us to develop an equanimity in the face of whatever life might give us. I'm reminded of the serenity prayer, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and extremely important, the wisdom to know the difference. So first of all, it's important to develop this Kshanti towards ourselves. I make mistakes, I fail in my practice, I slip, I trip. The important thing is to get up and just keep going and come back and come back and come back. So patience is not just going, oh, well, whatever, I've done whatever, who cares? No, on the contrary, patience is to recognise, to make amends where we can, and to learn, really important, to continue to learn from any mistakes that we make. And then, of course, we need patience for others. They may be the biggest challenge because they will not do what we would like them to do, and they constantly do what we would like them not to do. Huge learning ground there in terms of patience. The beauty of just really being able to work with others, recognising where we're not happy with what's happening, but being able to stay with an open heart. And maybe again quite challenging, patience, Kshanti, with life itself, with the universe, with the things that happen that we'd rather they didn't happen. And I think we've probably all lived this recently through the COVID pandemic that we're still living through, really not knowing what is going to happen next, being in a place of uncertainty. The old has gone to a great extent. We'll never go back to business as it was before, but the new has not yet emerged. So being able to stay in that place of uncertainty and unknown and keeping an open heart, I think that's patience or Kshanti. It's there's no good at whinging and complaining, and we know that the best laid plans of mice and men gang after gley. We know that at this precise moment, plans are, they're up in the air, they change. So this virtue, this beautiful quality of patience allows us to maintain our equanimity. We might feel what we feel, we might feel thrown, angry, whatever, but we're able to just keep coming back to a central place of serenity and equanimity and just keep moving forward. And on its very, very deepest level, Kshanti is love. It's acceptance. It's a real ability to know that dukkha, that suffering happens, and a real ability to respond to that with a heart full of love. And it's a real deep acceptance of life as it is, whatever life throws our way, and a real deep non-separation, a deep acceptance and understanding that we are all interconnected, we affect each other, and let's go with the flow of that and not fight it. That for me is Kshanti Paramita.